Yo, yo, yo. Happy Friday. Happy
Yo,
Bitcoin
yo.
101K.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Great,
Everything good?
great.
Cool. Yeah, so we're having, obviously, for Loco will be on in a second, and then we're supposed to have a special guest. I don't know where they're at yet, but hope everybody in the audience is having a great day. If you're finding us on Twitter, you're in the Bossman channel, wherever you're finding us. Appreciate you guys for being on. We do this show twice a week. We're going to go over everything in crypto, our thoughts on majors, memes, NFTs. Alt season, is it over? It's just getting started. We'll talk about all of this here in a little bit. Before we get started, usually we go ahead and start with our boy Rotes here. Does a nice review of the last few days. You want to go ahead and start it with that, Rotes?
I do. Let's kick that up to stage. And so, yeah, I mean, we're through with more volatility. We get these like flash liquidations. Anytime you kind of see this spike down, kind of looks like everything's kind of crashing. Typically, you're going to see a quick V-shaped recovery on that. Quite honestly, it's a good time to try and add a little bit more spot. Which case you should be in spot at least until we get through this 100K range. Ethereum still is holding fairly strong. Maybe lagging Bitcoin a bit, but doing well and overall is kind of the second kind of the major three. Trump has stated that he's going to make crypto great. There's been a bit of hints towards whether or not there is some forms of a crypto reserve, etc. So, that narrative kind of continues to bubble in the background. I think it's really positive. BlackRock is suggesting a 2% Bitcoin portfolio allocation. We're all 100% on crypto. But 2% of a standard portfolio allocation, 401k, et cetera, pretty positive. I think, that was 1%, 10 months ago by a few other of the majors. And so, it very similar to what we've seen in the past, but 2%, it's growing and it's, really validating crypto on where it is overall. Most major ETH NFTs are up about 40% on the week. Really good strength. We're seeing some movement on Solana, and then pretty choppy when it comes to ordinals. Ordinals maybe lagging a bit. Most of the ETH is being driven by token speculation. Almost where we talked about how meme related NFTs would be kind of like a really good pocket of the segment. Now it's almost like the NFT markets, the majors from the past we're all speculating on them getting tokens and therefore converging memes that way. So very interesting. AI tokens still remaining the hot sector on the meme side of things. Really kind of the clear winner here over the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and still look really strong. In terms of NFT volume, again, really good volume. This is what's highlighting the strength of the market and the bounce back that we're experiencing. Ethereum 37 million on the day, Solana 6.7, and Ordinals 4.7. Both of them up a fair bit. Ethereum kind of in that normal-ish range, really fluctuating between 20 to 50, all over the place, but really strong volume. Daily risers, not the usual ones on this list. Actually, in fact, a couple new ones. OCH Genesis Ring, a new mint, up 100%. This one kind of gives the vibes of like Captain's Meme Land, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know a lot about it, but looks interesting nonetheless. This is kind of their first original item into their, I think, the expanded kind of verse, and I think it's gaming side of things. So interesting. 1.8 ETH is a pretty strong one. We talked about this recently, how new NFT collections haven't been really kind of launching and coming about, and that was kind of the one thing that was missing. We're seeing them. Another one, a newer mint, V. This one's connected to the Vana token. It's AI and centralized data and monetizing data for AI and AI agents for training, just behind it all. Pretty good kick on this one, 103%. Nothing really stands out when it comes to the NFT itself, but this is, something that you would probably take along the sides of meme and AI related tokens or NFT. AI 16 partners up 20% on the day, and Fart NFT up 267%, both in that 4 ETH range. Again, there's these various related ones are the ones that you're seeing the cooks outside of, again, the majors. On the meme coin side of things, Goat up 4.5% to 770 million. Fartcoin up 26% to 694 million. When we did this on Tuesday, it was up to 360 million. It's up 200% on the last week. Fartcoin really is rallying to be kind of the major AI winner. It's got the memeability of it all, but then it's got the tie to the AI agent. And I think it's, that's why Fartcoin and Goat, frankly, perform so well, is that they're standalone memes that AI agents have really taken to. Graphane, also a kind of AI platform, up 57% to 368 million. Mudang up 1.3%. You can see how thin the winners are on the meme coins. And in prediction markets, a big flip, 47%, 110K prediction by year end. That's up 10% since Tuesday. That's the summary. Happy to have Chilla here. I'll pass it on to for Loco or Bren.
I was gonna say, let's definitely. I want to get an intro from our guest, either from Furloco or whatever. But definitely, before we do that, we're definitely trying to make these streams more interactive. So definitely be checking out the chat. What's Panda says? Yo, what's up, Panda? What's up, Schizophrenia? That's a sick name. What's up, Ito Voss? But yeah, what's up Furloco and Chilla? How you guys doing today?
We're good, man. I believe Tilla is unmuted, so Tilla, make sure that you're unmuted. But just wanted to formally and properly introduce him. He's one of our co-founders at Bridge 3 Labs, and aside from that, he's an expert in macro and seasoned investor. So I'm very, very excited to have him here and hear his thoughts about the market today. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, stoked to have him here as well. What's up,
hey guys?
Chilla?
Yeah, super excited to be here. Yeah, thanks Fur and crew. Again, I know this format I probably haven't spent as much time on as opposed to some of the other spaces for our members and teams. But look, yeah, super excited to be here. It's actually a very interesting time of the year, seasonality wise and whatnot, to be talking about a perspective in the market. For those of you who've kind of heard my rants,
He just cut out, or is that just me?
Yeah, I think he's cutting out a little bit. Let me see if we can get him back.
Yeah, no worries. He can definitely pick that up where he left off. I'm sure he'll be back here in a second. But yeah, no, it's definitely great to have him on, talk about seasonality. Definitely, if people are new to markets, it's like a brand new concept, so stoked to talk about that. Maybe we should pull up majors until he comes back, and I definitely want to hear what he had to say there.
Yeah, good idea.
Let me just go ahead and pull up my screen, make sure I have nothing crazy up here. All right, we're good. All right, share screen.
Yeah, at the meantime, make sure to like and retweet the spaces. Let's try push the spaces out. We got special guest Sport Chilla. We got Bren, Rhodes, and Furloco and myself here on Friday. So make sure to push it out to all your boys.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Danksy. Yeah, already at 200 viewers. Love to see that. 10 minutes into the stream. Let's see. 10. All right. So share my screen. And Borchilla, if you're back, let us know. So I definitely want to hear what you had to say there. Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin. So this is Solana. Let's go ahead and start with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin looks a little bit different than the other two right now. For me, as long as Bitcoin can clear 104 here, it's coming out of this nice little corrective channel. Out of a bigger one. I think last time we were on stream would have been Tuesday. I'm pretty sure I said in the stream, I had said it in the group that obvious corrective behavior and that we'd move up here soon. We got to move up, and then another lower time frame correction, which we're moving up out of now. If we can clear 103, we're very likely just going to continue up into late December, possibly hit like a kind of a Christmas slowdown like we do a lot of years. But we'll have to see kind of when we come up there. For now, Bitcoin looks very bullish, kind of out of this little lower time frame correction. Kind of looks great on all time frames. But also, what could end up happening, again, because Christmas ends up being a slow time a lot of years, is we could fail to break 104, come back down into like the 90s and kind of just chop around for a bit. I think this is probably less likely. It's not my base case. I think we probably do just continue up. But this is something that we have to definitely look out for and be open to. You see a lot of people kind of speculating. I've seen Alex Becker, a lot of people that a lot of things are pointing to probably a slowdown into the end of the year, in which case this scenario could be possible. But yeah, we got to watch what happens as we approach 104, 105. Let's go ahead and go to ETH really quick. Let's see here. So ETH looks a little bit different. I do think if Bitcoin does continue up here, the ETH and SOL probably will continue to the upside. So ETH is at a consolidation, but again, it's at this major high from 6 days ago. It's really at a decision point. If it does break above like 42 here, it's probably just going to continue on to 45 and above. But it's also possible we do come up here, fail to break, and form a bigger kind of consolidation / correction as well. Again, I think it's less likely, but definitely that a possibility. And then SOL is going to be the same thing as ETH essentially, except it is a little bit more coiled up. The fact that we came up here and we're still coming down, this one looks like, again, we could come up here, fail to break, and form a bigger correction. But we really got to see how strong this next move up. It really could just take us to new all-time highs. But yeah, I do think all three majors in the very short term are going to continue up. But we have to see what we do at these kind of major highs from last week, which will be kind of major decision points. I do think we continue higher, but we do have to see what happens. And then let me know when Board Chill is back as well. Bitcoin dominance, a little bit tricky. I do think what we're seeing here is just a pullback to the upside, really, and we're probably going to continue down. Now, if we were to consolidate here for like a month or 2 or 3 weeks for Bitcoin dominance, that I would say is very likely probably a bottom, and then that's when we could get that next leg up on Bitcoin dominance if we were going to. But until that happens, I do think very likely we're just going to break the bottom and continue down to the downside, and alts will, have continue to be kind of in control, kind of how it is the last few weeks. And I'm going to, if you guys do have any, what we're going over right now is majors and kind of bigger stuff on Coinbase TradingView. So if you have any of those bigger coins, alts, stuff like that, definitely request it in the chat and I'll go ahead and check that out. Let's see. Yeah. And everybody who's talking about meme coins, we'll definitely cover that here the next section. So ETH Bitcoin. So on the higher time frames, guys, I do think this is actually a correction on ETH Bitcoin since September of 2022. And kind of an unpopular opinion, but I do think not only does ETH Bitcoin, again, for those of you who don't know, ETH Bitcoin measures the strength of Ethereum versus Bitcoin over time. When ETH Bitcoin's going up, that means ETH is stronger than Bitcoin, essentially. For the last few years, ETH has actually gone down around more than 50% against Bitcoin due to the ETF narrative from Bitcoin, all that. But I do think because of how much is going to be on chain, every contract ticket, RWA, like all this different stuff, real world assets, I do think Ethereum being the biggest blockchain is going to be worth more in market cap than Bitcoin, the digital gold or digital store of value. Right now, that sounds crazy with how dominant Bitcoin has been, but I do think very likely, probably from here, we're going to continue to climb up here and at least go to 0.10 next year, which means ETH, I think, is going to double against Bitcoin from here. Polkadot. So really right now, I do,
here, Bren.
Of course, chime in whenever.
Strong right now compared to Bitcoin and SOL.
What? I'm sorry. Would you say what do I think is super strong right now?
No, I'm saying ETH looks super strong compared to
absolutely.
Bitcoin and SOL.
Absolutely, I do think not only does Bitcoin go up against I'm sorry, ETH go up against Bitcoin. But you made up a great point. I do think I remember we've been saying in the last few weeks in the stream that ETH would very likely outperform, at least in the short term. And since then, it's been down about 20%. I think we're very likely going to continue that, and probably the next low it's going to touch is this low at about 4 cents here. So I think Sol is probably going to lose about 40-50% against ETH here, at least in the short term. We'll have to see once we get close to that low. But yeah, I do think ETH is going to outperform the other two majors and a lot of other coins heading in early into this year. And then real quickly, I want to go over a few of the alts that I like, and then we'll get to the memes. Let's see if there's anything in the chat. Yeah, I'll definitely Crypto Bull. I'll definitely go over Hedera. So right now, I think alt season. We're going to enter a season here in early 2025 where kind of everything quality runs at once. We're going to see the majors, at least probably Sol and ETH. We're going to see memes, alts, NFTs kind of all run at once, kind of how we saw in 2021. As far as alts, there's kind of two baskets I'm putting a lot of these alts in. There's either alts that are going to have sustained runs, probably see new all-time highs. Those are the ones you want to buy and hold. And then there's another set of alts that I think people are using kind of as a rotation trade, just like the newest thing to long that they're not necessarily holding for the long term, kind of perp driven, a lot of them. I'm going to go over a few that I think are going to have sustained runs that not only are going to go up in the short term, but actually have probably going to hit all-time highs and have some pretty good gains from here. Polkadot being one of them. We've been talking about this in the stream all the way since the bottom here in September. We're up only 2x in the bottom. I think this is one of the coins that, as long as the crypto market holds up and stays strong into next year, is going to go back to all-time highs. It has time in the game. It has an operator in Gavin Wood, which is one of the original founders of Ethereum. Been doing a lot of stuff over the years. Definitely do some research. I do think Polkadot probably goes back to all-time highs, probably does multiples above there, which again is a 5 to 10x from here, for example. Another one that's kind of falls in that category is Optimism.
Everyone's asleep here, but that's what I got.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, board, chill, you back?
Oh, did I lose you? Okay.
Oh no, yeah, brother, we lost you like the very beginning, like 5 minutes ago.
Get out of here! Oh,
yeah,
no.
man, we were waiting for you to come back, but yeah, I hope you didn't say too much. We didn't think we were ignoring you.
Oh man, I don't know if I could do that act all over again. That was okay.
That's so funny, man. You were
right,
saying
tell me
about
where I dropped off, and I'll try to give you the TLDR.
Yeah, no, you were talking about where you last cut off was you were talking about seasonality, which is very relevant. I definitely want to hear about that from you as well. But yeah, definitely continue. A bit of an intro from you would be great. I want to give the audience a little bit of an intro.
Yeah. Look, so again, I'll just kind of back up real quick. So again, been trading for north of over 35 years. I am fairly aged, so I hate to age myself with that, but been.
No.
Yeah, I think it's the connection wherever he's at.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, try to hit him up and see if he can get a better connection, because we definitely want to hear from him. But let's just go back to where was I on the major? Did I? Okay. Oh, that's rough. I hope he didn't think we were ignoring him. But yeah, Optimism.
Okay, you guys can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. It's probably just a connection issue.
Okay. I'm gonna see if let me know if I go silent for more than 10 seconds and then 15 seconds, because
we'll do, brother.
I'll stand on one leg and do that Verizon commercial. Look, I think what I was saying is, look, I've been doing this a long time, lots of different, I'm not a pure technical trader. I'm not just a momentum guy. I do tend to focus fairly heavily on macro and fundamentals, and I'd like to set the table with what I think the big picture is doing, because it's either going to be supportive or not supportive against a particular play, whether it's crypto or whatnot. Did you guys hear my perspective on BTC being non-correlated as an asset?
No, you literally cut out like the first sentence.
Yeah, you talked about seasonality and it cut out. But yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, look, seasonality wise, I think the point that I was making is the last 2 weeks of December typically are a pretty strong risk on. Since 1928, the S&P and or the market has typically done about 2% positive alpha on the indexes between call it the 15th of December through year end. So that doesn't mean we can't have some shakeouts like we experienced today, a gap up reversal on the NDX and SPX. But look, I think next couple of weeks should be fairly favorable. The point that I was making about Bitcoin and in particular is, for the last 14, 15 years, it's proven to be a fairly non-correlated asset. So, even though despite the last 2-3 years, it's really been a risk on almost like a beta to the triple Q. So it's almost like a 3x triple Q type of performance. It's the market historically has viewed Bitcoin as just another Mag 7 or more speculative, and so therefore if S&P or Nas is up 1 or 2%, it would be up 2 or 3 or vice versa. Since the election and kind of the pro-Trump stand around crypto friendly, kind of the reorganization of the SEC, the deregulation, just potential Bitcoin strategic reserve, I think you have a lot of tailwinds, as well as basically a Fed and a Trump put on the price of BTC, which is something that historically I don't think the market has ever had the benefit of modeling in and pricing in the futures curve.
Can
So,
you, if people don't know what that means, can you elaborate what you mean by the put on a?
Yeah. So look, historically, previous Federal Reserves recognize that there's a pretty strong wealth effect from the U.S. equity market. So today you're talking about a U.S. equity market that's north of 40 some odd $40 trillion. There's a pretty well understood correlation with how people feel, how wealthy they feel, how much money they spend, depending on what their 401k balances are and their mutual funds and ETFs are doing. So when we talk about a Fed put, this was originally introduced in the late 90s by Alan Greenspan, where people would think that, hey, look, Greenspan or any Fed governor, in this case Powell, if the market has a big drop, they're going to step in to protect it, because a big drop, even though it may be technical oriented or it may just be, heavy profit taking or whatever, has an impact. Financial markets have an impact to affect the real economy in terms of how people spend their money. And so if you get into an economic slowdown and then the equity markets really start to puke, a Fed put basically means that the Fed is going to come in to stabilize the market, either rapidly cut interest rates, emergency cuts or whatnot, and they're going to prevent the market from having a full-on 1929 style crash, right? That's what we mean by a put. And what I mean by a Trump put is, Donald, is a keen observer of indexes as a barometer of health and, his success, if you will. And so just like he, watches the markets, he will be watching the price of Bitcoin. And so if you, for whatever reason, get, a meaningful 10, 15, 20% decline in Bitcoin, and I'm not suggesting that that's happening from the 100K level. I'm saying that could potentially happen from a 160 level, a 20% decline. He is inclined to want to backstop that and jawbone it back up, whether it's in terms of more positive headlines around the Bitcoin strategic reserve or actually pushing legislation around zero tax, zero cap gains on crypto or whatnot. So that those two put elements, those are kind of almost like backstops to a waterfall meltdown in either equity or crypto, in particular BTC. I don't think he's going to step in to protect all of our shit coins and meme shit that we like to trade, because it's great, and I think the market is understanding that there's a place for that in the ecosystem, but he is going to be focused on BTC and as a global barometer of the health of the crypto economy. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, that was great. That was great, brother.
Yeah.
I did see that from, I forgot where, somewhere on Telegram, that he was gonna, I forgot what the headline was, but something about Bitcoin being important, that he's gonna like talk up Bitcoin, kind of how you were saying. Wow, that was some amazing insight, Board Chill. I really appreciate that. So
We have a question too for Chilla, if you don't mind, Bren. We can kind of like I don't know if he has a hard stop, but one of our members in Discord, and I think he also messaged here, in the chat was about the difference in between Beto and IBIT.
Yeah, look,
and I know you had some thoughts about it.
Yeah, let me just quickly give a 2-minute soundbite to whoever wants to replay this recording, because a lot of our members have asked. We've been fairly bullish on getting exposure to Bitcoin. Look, Bitcoin's not going to move like other L1s or alts. You're just not going to get that on a $2 trillion asset class. So the way, the philosophy that we've espoused is, go with something that's higher confidence, and then get your leverage to get an appropriate leverage sizing. We are not big fans of, kind of this, 10, 20, 30x crazy ass leverage that's offered in the market. And we don't like really futures leverage either, because when you get those flushes, they basically will force liquidate you. The exchanges will. And so the way we've historically explored and expressed our leverage is through BITO, which is a Bitcoin index futures ETF, and that's been around for the last 3 years. So it actually had and has continued to have a pretty well functioning, well liquid options market. So you can get, you can express 3x, 4x leverage in leaps there, which is a better way to get your leverage exposure without the risk of liquidation. So that's why, we tend to go that way. The question was, historically we've levered up and been one of the largest institutional holders of BITO options in the market. And we've started to pivot that strategy into IBIT, which is the BlackRock ETF, the largest Bitcoin ETF, north of 40 plus billion in assets under management. That particular, they a few weeks ago, probably a couple months ago now, they opened up the option strip, and so that now allows you to express your leverage bets, if you will, deep in the money calls, with the year's time frame, without the risk of liquidation. The other key point here is, because BITO, I won't get into the technicals, but they roll the contract. It's a futures contract, so it rolls every month. The delta in that rolling of that contango is really what you're capturing. That dollar a share, which is about $25 on the BITO stock price, ETF price, every month you get $1 back. Yeah. What's that? Yeah.
No, you're good. I think it was the echo. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get $1 back, and the problem is when you get a dividend issued every month for about $1, give or take, your 25 goes to 24. You get $1 coming your way. So it's economically you're no different. But if you're buying a call, you don't participate in the dividend, so you get a haircut. The options market typically prices all that in, so it's not like the day of you're going to get hit, but the problem is you have to constantly actively re-roll that dividend back into your exposure. Whereas with IBIT, you don't. It's both of them are 99.5% correlated to Bitcoin price, but you don't have to deal with the dividend. Now the premium is 40-50% higher on IBIT because of that dividend not suppressing the price. So that's kind of a long-winded way to say that IBIT is probably the preferred vehicle if you're going to trade options, as opposed to BITO. Historically, BITO was your only game in town to do it without being on, MEXC or Kraken or Binance or some crazy levered platform. And so that's really the logic behind it. So we're in the process of slowly migrating those contracts over as well.
Wow, that was awesome. Yeah, no, that definitely somebody needs to clip that. I'm sure that'll help a lot of people. Thank you so much for breaking that down. Definitely. Yeah,
listen, I appreciate it. I'm going to hop. I had a hard stop here at halfway past the hour here. So Fur and Dansky, you guys carry on. Brent, thanks for the platform and opportunity to spew some lack of wisdom here. Hopefully it's interesting, but we'll see how the weeks play out. Best luck.
Of course. Perhaps we can have you for a few minutes next week as well. So appreciate the time, Tilla.
Yeah, definitely come on whenever, Borcho. We appreciate you, and we're disappointed we couldn't hear your ghost rant to yourself earlier.
Maybe next time. Maybe I'll come back to me. I'll play it again, Sam, next week. All right,
all right, brother. Appreciate you.
Sure. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.
Take care.
All right, cool. So let's go ahead and finish up on the majors really quick. I don't see anything in the chat as far as that, so I'll just go over the few that I was going to go over, and then we'll go over to memes, where I know a lot of people are here for. So
maybe
Era, yeah. Let's do that after optimism. So Optimism, one of the few that I put into the basket of where I think actually is going to have a sustained run, short, long, and midterm. Optimism is one of the pretty much the top Ethereum L2 in TVL. Oh no, I think Arbitrum has more TVL, but for example, Base is built on Optimism. I think JP Morgan or maybe it's BlackRock has L2 on Optimism, I believe, or like L3, whatever chain. Either way, Optimism going to go back to all-time highs, probably to 10, 20, 30, 50 billion, who knows, maybe even 100 billion someday, because it's a key piece of Ethereum infrastructure. Same with Arbitrum, pretty much the same setup. It's just a little bit different. Pretty much the same setup. I think all of these are going to go way higher. This is the kind of coin where 0% rug risk and a ton of upside. Something where you can kind of hold and just forget. Where you'll probably get an easy 5 to 10x next year, I think. So, and then S&P 500, which Borchilla was mentioning briefly. So I do think the S&P 500 is another obvious correction as well, since 7 days ago. We got one low. This would be the second low of the corrective channel. Very possibly come down maybe to like around 6K one more time. But I do think early year, again, due to the lack of consolidation, just like all these other corrections, choppy behavior, multiple bounces and lows, I do think this goes back to all-time highs pretty soon here. And then Hedera, we'll look at Hedera. But yeah, I mean, pretty much I think everything that's quality is going to start to rip here early next year. We didn't get to ask him about seasonality, but I do think seasonality and people having to sell stuff to pay taxes and stuff may play a role. But I do think in the short term, and the short term, over the next few months, we will move higher. I definitely would not be selling anything right now if you don't have to. Hedera Hash, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, right now, even though the market looks a little bit like flattish to kind of like down, at least on the altcoin side, right? There's more risk to being out of the market than not being in the market, right? Like we could have a little bit of a correction here, but I do think that as Q1 comes in, at least until April, we're gonna have a massive run. That's my perspective, and perhaps it gets extended to the end of the year, but I think the next 3 to 4 months are gonna be key for crypto. Sure.
Absolutely, bro. I agree. So yeah, Hedera hash graph, I do think in an obvious correction looks very nice. It's had a pretty nice run already this year from this is Hedera hash graph is H bar, right? Or no? Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, H bar. Definitely not one I'm in, but a lot of my friends have done really well on this. Definitely it's an older coin, has time in the game, beautiful consolidation, double bottom here that it formed over a year, strong impulsive move, and then just another correction in between. I think this is definitely going to go up again in the next few months. Very possibly could be in the next few weeks if we don't get a Christmas slowdown. But yeah, this is textbook. This is exactly what you want to be seeing in a correction. Beautiful corrective channel, no consolidation, bounce low. Probably see one more low, maybe one or two more lows. But yeah, I definitely would not be selling H bar. It's probably going to continue to go higher into next year for sure. We already checked ARB, Panda. I do think it's going to go way higher with Optimism.
Check XRP.
Of course.
Yeah,
of
my neighbor just bought like a shit ton of XRP, and I'm like, dude, people just like buy whatever it's pumping. That's really the retail mindset.
Absolutely, man. I mean, and it works
if you buy high, sell low.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the thing is, it's like these coins. Like if he's somewhat early, and we do get another 6 to 8 months of this, he might get multiples off of this. And it's crazy to think, but he might be somewhat early, at least in this cycle. Not overall, obviously, it's at like 100 billion, but just the fact how high these coins just keep going a lot of times when they have cult-like dynamics. But yeah, you brought up a great mindset. I think retail and a lot of people in general, like whether they know it or not, are kind of just chase the what's hyped right now and what's going up. And I think the great traders and stuff just are able to identify good opportunities, like good coins, but while they're in corrections, while less people are talking about them. And that's why I think we make a really strong effort in these streams to highlight not only stuff that's good quality, but stuff that's kind of like, correcting and lost its little hype for a little bit. Those are historically the best opportunities. So XRP though, I do think just like HBAR is in a short-term correction, could see another low, but I do think this is very possibly an inverse head and shoulders that's forming and could just go back to all-time highs now. People ask me how high XRP could go. When you're in price discovery like this, it's just really hard to tell. I don't know. I think XRP is going to go up with the rest of the market. I personally, it's not what I would buy right now if I had dry powder and I was entering the market. But with that being said, would I sell everything? No. What I would do and what I'm doing with my longs, I had a long from July that I've been building with perps. I've been taking profits on the way up. But overall, if I was an XRP, I would just take profits on the way up here partially. If you're one of the people who think it's gonna, change the world, maybe hold a bit. But yeah, profits on the way up. What are your thoughts on XRP here for Loco? Do you hold any at all?
No, man. I look. I don't hate XRP, and I know they have a massive cult, but I knowing what we know about crypto, I just can't invest in this thing, because there's so many other things when you obviously they've been around for a while and the market cap is what it is. That's why being at the top, they're gonna get a ton of attention. But if I'm investing in something, I can't invest in XRP. I'm sorry. So I would probably trade it, but not invest it. So my thoughts is congratulations to those that got in early. But I'm gonna sit on the sidelines on this one. So
yeah, no, I hear you. Same kind of mindset. I do think it goes up, but yeah, it's not where I put my capital at this point. Somebody Sound says, what do you think about SHIB, OG meme coin? No one is really talking about. Doge already made a push. Yeah, so SHIB there's been a little bit of a drama around SHIB recently. I know they endorsed and tweeted about a coin like Shiro or something that ended up being like just a straight rug pull. Super bundled, like 90% of the supply or something insane. So there's been a little bit of controversy around SHIB, but I do think overall most people who are buying SHIB have no idea what any of that shit. So I do think SHIB is going to continue to follow Doge over next year, and SHIB is still 2x, a little bit less, 2x off the all-time highs. But just looking at the chart, oh, never mind. Yeah, it's about 3x off the all-time high. SHIB, I do think, is going to get passed up by a lot of these coins, like, Pepe. If it hasn't already, it hasn't, right? Pepe, I think, even stuff like GigaChat and stuff like that, Mog and stuff is gonna get up there with SHIB. I don't know. I mean, at least GigaChat and stuff, whatever, gonna get close there with SHIB towards the end of the cycle, I think. But to answer your question, I do think SHIB goes up, just not as much as a lot of other stuff. Same with XRP. It's not where I would put my capital, but if you do have some, I do think it probably continues up, probably makes new all-time highs next year. And then let's go over Doge really quick.
Oh yeah, go Doge, hit Ton, hit Sui.
Yeah, and then we'll move on to memes. So
AVAX.
Doge, what'd you say? AVAX as well. What do you think about Sui? Wet Baker? We'll go over that right after this. Dogecoin, same kind of thing as SHIB, but even more so. It's a no-brainer from here. I do think. The fact we've been saying this, but the fact that it's already at 40 cents, with Elon not directly mentioning it too much, with being 2x off the all-time high, everybody who's been around for a while, Doge doesn't only 2x, but like 8x sometimes in a week. My point here is we haven't seen anything yet, and the fact that it's already at 40 cents is extremely bullish. There's a bunch of people on Robinhood who have just come back to crypto on their apps the last few weeks who have seen their in profit, which is extremely bullish, and it is just great overall for meme coins and crypto. So I do think Doge is going to make new all-time highs and probably go to multiple dollars next year. It could probably get scary how high this is probably going to go. Again, if overall crypto conditions continue to be good. Wet Baker asked about Sui. Sui is ripping like crazy. We'll cover it as well, but I think a lot of this is, it's already been doing really well, but now they're actually building kind of a meme coin ecosystem here again. One of the coins, Lo-Fi, went absolutely crazy this week. We call it in the channel, I don't know where, like 5 or 6 mil, something like that. Now it's at I think 170 or something, going just ripping. So I think that's contributing to a lot of the strength. And Sui, obviously it's in price discovery. My bet's more on Avalanche and Polkadot to kind of outperform from here. But with that being said, I definitely wouldn't be selling my Sui. And historically, what performs well at the beginning of the cycle or whatever, towards the end tends to perform well. So definitely wouldn't necessarily be selling all my Sui. But yeah, I think it's going to continue higher. Probably does multiples from here next year. And then we'll go ahead.
Average entry of 8 cents, kind of crazy.
Oh, nice, brother.
Sui.
Congrats to you, Wet Baker.
He's a
Good for
true
you, brother.
diamond hand.
Yeah,
How
it's
do you
not
get
even on
8
the
cents?
chart before it even got on Coinbase.
Or
Wow,
Binance.
congratulations to you. Wet Baker definitely takes some profits on the way up, brother.
On
But
Doge.
well, it's still good.
Doge.
That's still pretty solid.
That's funny.
I was gonna say this is wasn't even on the chart. It must have been before. But yeah, even on Doge, that's a pretty solid entry, bro.
That's better than my
yeah.
entry on Doge.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
ton.
Sui is one of those that even though has run a lot, I could definitely get around just because when you look at the tech aspects, it's really like on par with Solana. Obviously, Solana has the adoption of users, but definitely Sui is one of those that I'll be like, even if it goes up another 2-3x from here, uh, I I would probably be like, okay, it's pretty much this new tech. The team behind it is really top notch, and and it has kind of like it's on par with what we expect the market to do with newer ones. But anything else that is not that, I just don't even know. I mean, AVAX is one of those that will do well probably with gaming, but I don't know. Are you guys long on AVAX right now?
Yeah, I've have a lot of I got a lot of AVEX in September and August again because of what you just said, the crypto gaming, multiple things, but the crypto gaming really going to be powering most of the move, and it has. For example, Off the Grid, which was a game that had a lot of attention on it a few months ago. All the transactions pretty much in the marketplace on the game, most people didn't even know were being done, all on the Avalanche chain. So yeah, from what I understand, I'm in Neo Tokyo, and from smart people in gaming, from what I understand, there's like 20 plus kind of quality games similar to Off the Grid in quality coming out next year. All it's going to take is one or two of those games to blow up in the mainstream for the space to get a massive like speculative bid or something like that, or like GTA comes out with something crypto related, something like that. That's all it's going to take for the space to just go absolutely insane. And again, Avalanche is a infrastructure bet on that happening, as well as it has time in the game. It's been around since 2020. Beautiful corrective channel coming out of, as long as it can break this high at 62, I think it's going to all-time highs, probably way higher next year. So yeah, I'm definitely long AF on at AVEX.
Yeah. And definitely, if you're in crypto, you don't want to be in Europe because I mean, like, you see the U.S. like, BlackRock saying that they need 2% allocation on a general portfolio. Then you have Trump saying that they're gonna do things with crypto that no one has ever done, which we don't know what that means. But then
Yeah.
on the European side, most countries can't use. I mean, Pump the Fund is one of those, but they're actually banning some stable coins. So they're forcing Coinbase to ban stable coins in some countries in Europe. So it goes to tell you that it really matters where you are in crypto, and a lot of Europeans will probably stay out of the market, or they will probably have to invest in the U.S. market to get exposure to crypto because they cannot buy on their own countries, which is pretty crazy. So
Great
yeah.
point. Great point. Wet Baker says, "Will Sui on Phantom pump a lot?" What does he mean by that, Danksy?
Like the wallet integration.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Anytime Phantom's adding any of those chains, that's great, because I think that's what most people are using right now. So I love Phantom. It's definitely way better than MetaMask and all that. So yeah, definitely bullish on that. We definitely do want to move on to memes. If you guys do have any of the bigger coins, we could probably circle on back. But again, yeah, anything gaming related, super bytes, gaming stuff. Really, the games itself haven't really come out yet. Even Off the Grid hasn't even released their token yet. So definitely look out for the games to come out. We'll be reviewing all that on the streams. But for now, can't really go wrong with Bytes, Super, AVAX, infrastructure bets on that, crypto gaming stuff heating up. So let's go ahead and move on to memes. I didn't have anything prepared, but I'm trying to think, guys, is there anything like news related that happened over the last few days, meme coin related? Can you guys think of anything? I'm trying to think. I don't think any crazy developments happened since our last stream on Tuesday. If anybody remembers anything, let me know. I think a lot of stuff more has happened on the NFT side, but
And AI meme coins have done fantastic. Well, certain ones that have done fantastic, but yeah, all these cultist meme coins or cult-like meme coins are taking a breather here, especially Solana ones, like Chill
kinda,
Guy.
yeah. I mean, they just kind of started running.
Yeah.
Can you see my Telegram thing right now, or is it just my window?
I can see your deck screener.
Okay, cool. So, I want to pull up a clip.
/
Hold on. I'll do that at the end. But yeah, I mean, pretty much for the last few weeks of or the last month, myself personally, I've been stressing that a lot of stuff's going to go up. We're going to enter a phase in crypto where kind of everything that's quality is going to go up at the same time. A lot of stuff, but where the best ROI / risk to reward bets right now are in those cult meme coins, Giga SBX, MOG, ticker Bitcoin, lock in. Flog kind of fits in that category, that not only have the supply distribution, the cult communities that are like working for their bags 24/7, movements that people can get behind rather than just like price go up, as well as like beautiful 30 to 50% corrections that they've been in over the last few months. Those are the no-brainer bets that myself, even though I've already had big positions, months ago, that I've been adding to heavily, because I do believe that, again, these cult coins, because of the supply distribution and the communities themselves, are not only going to teleport straight to $1 billion, but go to multiple 2 to 5 billion very quickly, and pretty much pass up all these other kind of existing meme coins that have been around for years. Maybe not SHIB, that's kind of already up there. I don't know what market cap it's at, but even that is going to be threatened by a lot of these cult-like meme coins. Because again, same reason we're talking about XRP earlier. The only reason our XRP is at 100 fucking billion or whatever it's at is not because of the world-changing technology. It's because of the cult-like dynamics, the movement behind it. People dead ass believe it's going to $589 or whatever the fuck it is. And that's why
Even
it's
the
gone
tokenomics look horrible, right? Like, don't they have a new unlock coming up here soon?
Yeah, and I mean, if you look into it, Ripple's been dumping hundreds of millions of XRP on the head, but the reason why it's gone up so much is because of that diamond-handed like mindset that people have. They're holding it because they think it's going to be whatever, the world reserve currency, which is great. My whole point here is, yeah, maybe SPX 6900 isn't XRP yet, or Giga Chat or whatever, but it has those same type of dynamics that in a bull run has the best shot to go to that 150. 20, 10, 20, 50, 100 billion. If any of these coins are to get there, those are the best shot there. So that's what I've been pouring my money heavily into, what I've been, really shilling on these streams here. And over the last few weeks, we didn't really cover it, but Giga got that Coinbase listing. Again, these coins aren't going up because Coinbase, listed them. Obviously, it's giving it a pump, but Coinbase is smart. They understand these things that I'm talking about, the cult-like dynamics, what's going to get people flocking to them, what's going to be good for volume for them. So again, yeah, I think it's just a reflection of what I'm saying. And I do think people on Coinbase who are buying them now are going to be up crazy next year. My whole point in saying this is still, even though Giga Chad's at all-time highs, I think this is going to teleport to 5 billion extremely quickly. And not only that, has the best shot at going to the 10, 20, 30, 50 billion mark type of thing. So yeah, I do recommend, until these are at like $1 billion, 2 billion, these are the no-brainer buys where you can kind of buy and hold and do very well, outperform everybody else who's trying to, do 100 trades a day type of thing. So ticker Bitcoin falls exactly in that category. We're going to go over NFTs here in a second, but I do think ticker Bitcoin and Sproto Gremlins are at like generational bottoms here, like for real. The fact that we have this beautiful correction and then almost a month and a half of consolidation here, I think at any time, between here and 20 cents, ticker Bitcoin is just going to fly to all time highs and not look back. So yeah, no brainer buy here. FWOG, like we just went over, it looks great right now. Lock in, not as much of a cult or like a whatever, not as much of a high ceiling, but I do think this is probably going to a billion next year. Beautiful corrective channel. And then ticker Bitcoin, Mog. Mog's just shown incredible strength. Not as great of an entry as these other ones, but I think this is easily going to probably 5 to 10 billion again if we get 6+ months of crypto bull market still. So yeah, can't go wrong with this, guys. Until these coins are up, 2-3 billion, I think the no-brainer move is to pour money into these and then play with the rest of your portfolio on the lower cap stuff. That's kind of my view on everything now. But yeah, SPX as well. I think this is gonna break this all-time high soon and go to multiple billions as well. So that's kind of my view and what I've been buying. Easiest way to 5, 10, 20 extra whole portfolio without having to place 100 trades a day, while being able to just chill and enjoy community and meet people and all this great stuff. Again, is by holding these. It sounds crazy and corny right now, but I'm telling you, next year, the people who just buy and hold these cult-like coins or whatever, even FWOG, are going to do incredibly well, outperform probably most everybody else. So, I do want to look at the chat. But what about you guys? What have you been trading as far as meme coin stuff? What are your views on the last few days?
Janksy, any thoughts? I'll wait to see what you guys done, and I'll provide mine. I want to hear from you as well.
No, I'm not trading meme coins right now. I got all my money locked up in Doge still.
Hey, that's a generational trade. That's a generational trade. Rhodes, have you been trading any meme coins lately?
Nothing new. I've stuck recently to the AI, and that's played out well. And I'm holding to that so far. AI 16Z are kind of my two favorites in that respect.
Oh yeah, we'll go over that too in a second. Chris asked about Chill Guy. Now that we're still on like normal, non-AI memes. Chill Guy, not Chill Girl, Chill Guy.
To me, Chill Guy is one of my biggest disappointing so far, because I mean, Farcoin is one of my other holdings and has done very well. Goat is picking back up, but Chill Guy is just unlimited FUD. So yeah, take a look at it and see what do you think.
So yeah, yesterday I think the artist, there's a screenshot that the artist on Instagram was saying that the whole thing on Twitter a few months ago wasn't him. Do you guys know?
Yeah, it was hacked. I think it was hacked.
So the tweets from a few months ago that everybody thought those were hacked this whole time.
I thought he was hacked. That's why the chart went to 0.45 for 150 million, and then went all the back down to.
I think the speculation is that on Instagram he screenshotted the tweets from. Oh, you know what? I don't know. Somebody can pull him up and let me know. But either way, I do think Chill Guy has a ton of mind share, and still in the real world, I still see like old ass people posting the meme. So I still think it has a lot of mind share, both in the meme coin world and just meme world in general. Obviously, I think this is its first major correction, and 60% corrections are never fun. But I do think, again, has enough mind share, as long as, I don't think the artists can do anything DC, coming after wise. Maybe it hinders them from getting major exchanges. But I don't think that's the end all be all necessarily. The fact this is already at 298 million after a 60% correction tells you a lot that there's still people like diamond handing this as well. I do think if we can get some consolidation for a week plus here, probably is going to run it back. Just off the strength of bull market and the fact that usually these big coins that have initial runs after big washouts, after people kind of sleep on them for a bit, usually they have another run. It's been like kind of a tried and true trade for me. Again, if this just continues down and throws like a fat red candle, the artist goes, tweaks and does whatever, then that's a different story. But for now, if we get some consolidation, I think it's going to run it back.
It's right now at what, a 70% correction from the top, more or less?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like normally that's what you would expect in any meme coin, right? But
yeah.
But I wonder if the amount of holders also hinders its growth. I probably think that's the case as well, right? Because the more distributed the supply is, it also the hardest it takes to actually pump it, right? Like that's why some
Yeah.
other tokens that are more cultish, um, they have similar kind of like you know dynamics, but also the holder count is much lower. So technically,
Yeah.
if you have 50,000 holders and you have like some sort of like big buy in a day, you probably can pump this like 2x versus like being at 140,000. You're gonna need like popcat level liquidity to bring this back up to 500 million. That's what my thoughts will be. I don't know what you guys think,
I
but
don't know. I feel like it's kind of. I feel like the kind of pushback on that. I think the more holders again. Assuming the holder count's real, I know a lot of stuff can be fake, whatever. Assuming, which makes sense, a lot of TikTok people probably buying small bits, but I do think holder count being all high is actually very bullish because it's less opportunity for one or two people, a centralized group, to like have a big control of the price action or how much can be dumped, right?
yeah,
And usually that's a reflection of like the diamond handedness of like a lot of people buying small amounts. But with that being said, you made a great point with the kind of the supply needs to be distributed. You made it is very young compared to a lot of these other coins that have been out 6 or 7 months, but these corrections 70% is what makes those strong communities and passes supply from the weak hands on to people who are going to hold it for like higher market caps. So I
yeah.
think if it's going to recover, this is just part of the game and what needs to happen. Zero, bro. Yeah,
Take a look at Mudeng as well, because that's the other one that is like based around like TikTok narratives, and it's been kind of like a stable coin here around 0.35, 0.38, or zero point 0.4. Wonder if it's gonna have one of those like super kind of like aggressive moves here on the way up, or perhaps not. But what do
That's
you
a
guys
great
think?
question. Honestly, that's something I want to touch on. Everyone, puts a lot of how to say it, a lot of value on like the initial Coinbase pump, the initial Binance pump, because we've seen in the past that Act, for example, went like 10 or 20x off of the listing, which is great. But what people don't understand, it's not about the initial pump. It's not even about what it does on the first day of trading, because Mudang hasn't done very well. It's the fact that I forgot how many people, 100 million people or whatever, have access to Coinbase going into a crypto bull run, crazy bull run, going into a meme coin super cycle. I believe it's a meme coin super cycle. The fact that it's one of the 10 or whatever meme coins on Coinbase, probably going to be there forever, is extremely fucking bullish. Again, we're going into seasonality time where people aren't buying a lot of memes and they're buying Christmas presents right now. So I do think it's just bullish over the next year. The first few coins on Coinbase, the Gigas, the Mudangs, and I think that's reflecting in the price of Giga already going up. Mudang, beautiful correction here. Zero consolidation before coming down. 10 days correction here. I do think once the market starts to heat up, the meme coin market again, this is going to rip. Probably easily goes to $1 billion, probably multiple billion. And I do think, even though the lore behind Mudang, I don't think is as strong as something like Peanut or something like that. I do think people go on Coinbase next year. They see, oh, Mudang, I know that, and they just fucking buy it blindly. Just the way it works. So yeah,
Yeah,
Mudang
it's
to answer.
actually the lowest market cap Coinbase listing meme coin. Actually, I think it is. Out of all the meme coins that Coinbase has listed, I think Mudeng is the lowest market cap, and it seems to be the biggest kind of like global movement when you consider it. Like if Peanut was a U.S. thing, right? Like pre-elections, perhaps Chill Guy is more of a global one now that he has kind of like gotten into the mindset of soccer teams and other stuff. But Mudeng is one of those that has really reached out almost every other country in the world, and yet it hasn't really had that impact yet. Nor we have seen it cross 400, 500 million. I think it was the top. I don't even know if it got there, but yeah, seems to be that one of those that it would run when the health of the meme coin market is back. So I'm still
Absolutely,
holding.
absolutely.
It's probably gonna take a few weeks, if not a few months, but I'm confident this thing can go to the billions. So we'll
Awesome.
see.
I do want to. So real quick, let's do a reset. 644 viewers here. Love to see that. So if you guys are just coming on from Twitter, maybe you saw the post I made in Boss Man Calls. Appreciate you guys for coming on. We do this show twice a week. Fridays, like today at 10 a.m. PST, and then Tuesday we do at 1 p.m. PST. Again, we go over everything that's going on in Web3, crypto, NFTs, memes, obviously, majors, alts, everything. We're going to start to improve the quality with it, the cameras and all that. Have some awesome guests on for you guys next year. So appreciate you all for coming on. My name is Bren. Been in, obsessed with crypto here for like 8 years. I've been locked out of my Twitter here for 5 or 6 months. My main Twitter, it's tagged there. Definitely give me a follow. Some guy, when I had him working on it before, had like removed the following back to 0. You might have seen that, but that's back. Kind of the last step is just getting my email recovered and whatever. Long story short, I'll have my Twitter back soon. Definitely give everybody on here a follow. I spend a lot of my time when I'm, not trading in the Boss Man Calls channel, which I co-own / run with my my partner Boss Man. I do all my analysis, live stream, all that cool stuff in there. Definitely check that out. Link in there as well. And then we got my boys at Bridge 3 Labs, my good friends here, Danksy, for Loco, and Rotes. They all run Bridge 3 Labs, which is an awesome community NFT project. Smart people from all walks of investing. You obviously heard from Board Chilla earlier. People in NFTs, crypto, memes, Bitcoin mining, all different walks of stuff. They have a Telegram as well. Check out. We're doing this on their page currently. Check out everything they have there. Follow everybody on the stream, and we appreciate you guys for coming on. We're going to go ahead and touch on the AI meme stuff. We're going to go ahead and do some NFTs with my boy Rotes. I'll talk about a little bit of stuff I've been buying, and then we'll do a giveaway at the end of the stream. So real quickly, Rich, somebody asked about, I assume this is what you're talking about. So Rich, GPU AI Rich, do you guys know anything about this one?
No, that must be a new one. I mean, I heard about this one, Mizuki or something, but we can talk about that later. But there's almost an AI agent or coin every day that goes to 20 to 30 million, and I'm missing them. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that, man. Definitely have bought a few recently, ALK and AIXBT. I've been kind of averaging into. But besides that, I've been sticking mostly to my concentrated bets again. And Zero Bro, Goat, and a few others. We'll talk about here in a second. But GPU AI Rich, I assume this is some kind of AI stuff. Just completely chart-wise, because that's the only thing I can glean from this. It's either, we have some consolidation here. It's either going to go up from, go make new all-time highs, but also I could see it just being part of a bigger correction where it just goes like this and then comes lower. If you do believe in the project other than price reasons, like, whatever community, the AI that they're building, whatever, this is when you want to be averaging in. But yeah, it looks corrective to me. You're probably going to get something like this if it doesn't go to all-time highs from here. But that's up to you to, if you believe in it, other reasons other than the chart, this is the time you want to be buying. And then the AI stuff, for me, really, again, Zero Bro, been adding to this. Again, even though we've been in this since 100 million, heavy with the NFTs and stuff as well. I do think I've been adding a little bit to Zero Bro, again, because it has been lagging behind the Fartcoin and a few of the other ones. And I do think the fact that AI16Z passed GOAT now kind of unlocks the door for all of these to just go crazy. And really the door's wide open. I do think for the fact that who's going to be the top AI agent or whatever you want to call them. I think Zero Bro has shown us that it has the most potential to go viral in the mainstream. It already kind of has with the music and all that. So my bet is on Zero Bro as far as most of my capital. But with that being said, I do think there's just going to be so much more strength to come for the the AI space in general. And for that reason, I've been, buying some of the stuff, but really going heavy on the NFTs, which we'll talk about here in a second. Because I think, again, it's being so slept on. There's so many great opportunities there right now. But to answer your question, I don't think anybody asked, but oh yeah, actually, Iman asked. I think beautiful correction, super coiled up correction since November 22nd on Zero Bro, with 9 days of consolidation. I feel very, very strongly that between here and 30 cents, we're going to bottom out, and Zero Bro is going to rip to $1 billion, probably way higher. And then I do want to go over the NFTs, but just since we're on the subject, I do think a really good really good play right here the fact that these are at 4.1 during the correction of the actual coin, I do think from here the NFTs are going to be a huge leverage bet on the actual coin itself. And if Zero Bro rips to what is it? If Zero Bro rips, you notice it's kind of following the price exactly of the coin. But I think as people kind of catch on to this meme coin NFT narrative, it's going to actually start to outperform the coin itself. So, I bought probably 10 more Zero Bro, I think maybe 8 more yesterday. Again, for like, I'm going to sell on the way up, but I think you can get a nice leverage bet on the NFTs here. People are really sleeping on those. You can sell on the way up when the coin goes up. So yeah, Zero Bro, I think it's going to go way higher. Alk really quickly. I do think is going to go is kind of a unique lane where they're kind of building tools and cool stuff. Check this one out, and then last one before we move on to NFTs is AI XBT. Lots of stuff here. I think it's a great agent. It's both informational, it's funny, it has a memory. I saw it the other day. Literally said to this guy, he called him the art like a retard, but he said like you've asked me this 4 times, retard, like something like that. Like the
Is that some sense of humor, huh?
yeah,
A
no
little
sense
bit.
of humor, and what I'm trying to get at is it has a memory, right, where it literally like knows when someone's asked something before. That type
Yeah.
of stuff, super funny, as well as it has a narrative of being the first AI agent, I believe, launched on virtuals, and then obviously on base as well. Kind of like a lot of different narratives there. I think this is going to go to 1 billion next year. So myself and Yoni have been. He kind of brought it to my attention more. We've been accumulating for the last week or so. So. But let's look at the chat. Virtual on base, Ran. Yeah, virtual on base is probably going to continue up as well. Any of these infrastructure plays connected to strong narratives like gaming, AI, all that stuff is going to do great. So let's see. Did you see what happened with Mizuki? We'll go over Mizuki, and then we're going to go move on to NFTs.
Yeah, this is the one I was tracking. I didn't buy it, but dude, this thing went crazy overnight.
So I guess the narrative behind this is like I don't know how the coin's really connected, but they're like expose AI agents that are really fake or something, and then get their Twitter deleted or something. I don't know if somebody knows anything more. A few of these projects, they like got the Twitter deleted and kind of exposed them for being fake, which has caused a lot of attention around it, which has pumped the coin. And then I think they targeted Zero Bro the other day, or last night, which is interesting. I don't know what's come of that so far, but yeah. Anybody know anything else about this narrative wise?
Not me. No, I tracked it, but I don't know what it was about, because I know these things pop every other day. So
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of everything.
we'll see if it actually has legs. So far, it's definitely kind of trying to consolidate there at the top. Maybe continues one more time, one more run. Who knows?
Yeah.
With this one.
I mean, if it continues that mind share, maybe it keeps going up. I would wait for a bit of correction. But yeah, this consolidation yesterday and today, or yesterday and the day before, was great. Anything we already went over? Zero Bro.
Honestly, at this price point, I could be a buyer.
Mizuki.
Yeah, because it still has like if it runs the hundreds of millions, you get a good return. Like
I know,
it's
but
already
how
100
many
million
of these
before.
agents are gonna run to hundreds of millions, right? Like, and maybe they're short-lived pumps, but it's starting to get very saturated. That's what I was talking to. I think it was Borchilla the other day. It's like, do you invest in the infra or in the actual infra layer, or do you buy the agents? Because the agents are the ones that are competing against each other. So how much
What
attention
I
can they
understand,
capture?
like Zero Bro is both an agent and like an infrastructure play. I'm still learning a
Yes,
lot about this. Like I'm not tech
it
savvy at
is.
all.
It is. So like Virtual, for instance, is the one that launched AIXBT, right? So most of this will be agents competing against each other, and the ones that will probably do will be like the top three infra layers or developers for these agents. That's what I would say. If you want to concentrate your bets, focus on infra, the top players, and then if you want to spread some of your additional capital, more risk capital to agents, that's fine, because you have a lot of upside but also a ton of downside. That's how I see it right now. So
Absolutely, and I agree. You treat everything else kind of like more short term. Be aggressive with taking profits. That's how I'm playing it. Really keeping my concentrated bets on a few, and then treating.
Oh, the other one is sorry to interrupt you. Blink, which I think it was it's like the competitor of Pump That Fun. Have you guys looked at that one?
What
Blink,
is it?
BLINK. It's like Blink That Fun. Have you guys looked into that one? Because that one, I
Uh,
was looking at this one yesterday at 10 million, and it pumped overnight, and I missed it again. But
you said
I wasn't sure it was a real one or
competitor?
it was a fake one. Yeah.
It's a competitor. Pumped
Yeah,
up.
it is. It was launched by can't remember, but it was Refine and Solana or someone else. I don't know, but it was yeah, it's supposed to be a competitor of Panda Fun. So
Awesome. We'll have to look into it. I do want to get into NFTs. I think we should go a little bit longer today, maybe like 15 minutes longer, because I do want to hear. There's a lot of stuff we want to get into NFT wise, and then I do want to do the giveaway at the end. So maybe we'll go to 11:45, 11:50 today if you guys can stay on. But yeah, NFTs, man. I do want to hear kind of an overview of the stats from Rotes. If you want to go and pull that up, brother. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on in NFT this week. I love how everything is heating up.
Yeah,
Damn.
and NFTs are really starting to cook up here. And what I find most interesting, I mean, volumes look great, right? We have really pumped up the volumes that we haven't seen in really some time. But what I find a little bit interesting, and I mean, this is a small gap in here, but it really looks like smart money or whales are accumulating right now. And a lot of the activity is driven by more or less buyers, and I find that interesting. I find that interesting as kind of a precursor to more of a run as it progresses on. So that's I think, even though the buyer seller ratio is dipping, I think it's actually in this case a bit of a positive. We're seeing trending activity up on the amount of sales, the amount of buyers and sellers, the amount of new traders, so new first-time wallet trades, amount of unique traders per day. So everything is trending up here and starting to look more positive. We're up 77% on the 6 month range for NFTs, which is a really big story compared to where NFTs have been. They have been through the wash for a couple years now, and really in the depths of the bear through the summertime. And then really the rally itself has kind of happened since the start of December, really. I mean, the last 2 weeks has just been such a strong move. But even November was good, right? But the November was such a small move to what we've seen over the last little bit here. It feels like every time we see these new prices, it seems like, oh, well, we've gone too much. I brought up some perspective charts here to go through as well. We'll get into them in a second. I think it's really important to reframe where NFTs have come from, because when you look at these prices and you look at how things have rallied, and you do see some all-time highs here and there. I mean, where we were in 21, 22, we're still a far cry from that. And what's interesting, what I think is positive, is that we're not seeing liquidity run around to all these new products and chasing things as much. Some of that liquidity, if the chasing and speculation, frankly, can happen in meme coins, and I think that's a great segment of the market. But in the past, NFTs were that form of meme token where they were spinning up new projects on the daily. You get tens to hundreds of new projects on a day, whereas now we're only seeing a few quality projects come out. And I think that's really healthy for the space as well. Looking at the majors, all are performing really well over the last week. The majority are up, being led by Little Pudgies, Creeps, Doodles, and Sappy Seals. And then on the last 30 days, Little Pudgies leading the way, Pudgies as well. What I find interesting here is that Little Pudgies are performing really strong. But when you look at the Azuki ecosystem, elementals, I think are actually, no, beans are outperforming, but beans trail elementals. Beans were the second collection, and I think a lot of the Zuki speculation comes with anime token, etc. I think beans are really interesting in the sense that, you know, they were the second collection, and even though they're behind elementals, I would argue that there's a chance that they receive a better allocation if there is a similar situation for Azuki. And a lot of these NFTs now that are starting to move, it's really token speculation. Primarily when you look at Doodles and Azuki, I think they're getting that really good bid up based on that. And then also when you consider the fact of where their previous all-time highs were, they're way off from those levels. And, you know, the primary collections where we've established in the past 5 to 10 really high-end collections, you know, we still have to, you know, we can still move with those kind of degrees of collections. So
to kind of touch on that, what do you think would have to happen for these move, like for this to be sustained move, like other than the token stuff? Like what would you need to continue to see from like for the market to continue up? As well as two-part question, do you think, I think you and I already talked about this personally yesterday, but what do you think the whole, after Pengu comes out, I assume it's going to come out here like in the next few weeks, do you see the entire market kind of taking a hit, or just mostly penguins taking a hit and then maybe rotating into apes? Or do you think it'll kind of be a hit to the whole entire NFT market temporarily after the coin kind of drops?
What's been really good for the market in general right now is that there's been this consistent rollout of new good stories, right? So, you know, back to Doodles with the McDonald's partnership, and, you know, even before then, Doodles with their Toronto Film Festival and their movie. You know, everything else was mostly quiet. A few things with Pudgy Penguins, but, you know, we've seen this ramp up of positive narratives and positive situations going on that I think it continues to help the NFT ecosystem. And then I think, you know, other things that kind of stand out is that you, for whatever reason, the ability to compare now NFTs to meme coins makes NFTs more positive. It's like, well, you know, you're looking at X meme coin being worth over $1 billion. Well, this NFT collection is only 100 million. Think about how far it can go, kind of thing. And even though when you're looking at an individual NFT, it may be $100,000, right? So there's interesting elements, and then you have you know, rotations, and the fact that, you know, as we're in this bull market, crypto natives are able to cycle profits back into on-chain assets, and NFTs become this excellent collectible that's well beyond, you know, holding any crypto token itself. So all of those things I think are really interesting when it comes to the Pengu token and post rollout. I think it can become a really positive for the space. You know, when we talked about this on Tuesday, the valuations were in this, like, you know, I was sitting on the lower end of like the 1.5 billion. I always tend to be a little bit more on the cautious side when it comes to all of this kind of stuff. You know, the speculative narrative and you know, bubble aspect that can always exist in the space. I always temper to the lower risk side. I'm not a chill as age, but, you know, I am a little bit older, and so I always kind of lean that way. But when we look at it, like, you know, these valuations for Pengu token are now in this like 4 or 5 billion range. I think that's high, but, you know, when it's sitting in that range, calculations can come out and say, hey, this could be like a 100K airdrop, and something like that happens. I think that's just like a straight cook for other NFT projects with the, like, oh, this one could do it, and then this one could lead to 100K. You know, we're not going to see an airdrop like this, like, probably again, but, you know, we love to speculate. We love to, like, think about the what if, and I think it's going to be a catalyst, and it's going to provide a lot of liquidity too.
Absolutely, that's a great point. I really think about that. I think the strength of, like, the narrative of 100K airdrop again, like, damn, we're getting back to the, like, glory days of, like, the Yuga airdrops with Ape Coin and the mutants and all that shit. So that's a great point. I could definitely see that happening, and I do think we're dealing with an operator in Luca Nets that is, like, just, like, top notch. I'm sure he's thought about this for a long time and how to best do this, and probably to continue the hype and narratives and not narratives, hype and, like, announcements, and kind of drag it along quite a while. Because I mean, he's one. You know, you see him. People are like in tweets a few months ago, are like, "Oh, NFTs are never coming back to their all-time high prices," and he said like, "You want to bet?" Like, I don't know. I think he knows what he's doing, and you know, the fact that he's behind the whole thing, I feel a little bit better about versus probably other projects. So, the great points there. I don't know if you saw the pond floor right now, Rotes.
I have not.
What's
Though
it
Sub
at?
100,
Pond.
baby. Sub 100.
we're gonna get back to the pond in a second.
Sorry.
I want to continue on this reframing narrative of where NFTs have been. With 1 second to say that with Pudgies, you know, I think as long as we see something probably 25K plus, we're good. If it doesn't go well, and I think it's unlikely, then yeah, there could be this real strong kind of pullback across collections, etc. But like if you do the math on it, like Pudgies, if they go back to, you know, say half this price, 50K, you know, then that's a 25K loss on an airdrop of only 25K. So that sort of thing, right? So you right now where they're priced, they're almost priced in that they need to see at least 50K on an airdrop to kind of almost sustain this kind of floor price range that they're in. So there's some parts there that you know, are worth considering. But when you take a look at these collections from the past, and this is a weekly chart, we're looking at Azuki. You know, we're down, you know, this 90%. You know, this famous, you know, all collections are Gary V. All collections going are going to go down 99%, and only a few will survive. Even the majors were down, you know, 90+%. But like Azuki as a NFT. Way back, a 30 ETH floor on the early on stages of things. You know, they are well behind from there. And when I'm looking at them now, after they've kind of breached this 8 ETH range, to me they seem interesting up to about 9, and then from there I'm looking at probably something around the 15 ETH range. So they definitely have this 12.7 range, I think is the next one that I think is most interesting. So they have some room to move, and of course there's definitely a lot of speculation. I think it's inevitable that anime token, airdrop, all that kind of stuff is going to happen. And you know, if there's anything that's going to get into the same kind of silly kind of ranges of Pengu, I think Azuki can lead that way. So you know, it's a matter of timing. They move slow, but really interesting there. Taking a look at Doodles, believe it or not, also another one up in this 25. I mean, this spike here happened pretty violently up and then back down, but they're way down from where they were. I think they are interesting now to get to, you know, 5.5, and then we're probably looking at something in the, you know, 8 ETH range for Doodles. Tokenomics wise, and what kind of lands there, I'm not sure, but you know, if we just look at the playbook of Pudgy Penguins and kind of the, you know, the business aspect and plushies and toys and all that kind of stuff, Doodles has the ability to run a solid core brand business, etc. Without the token. So you know, I think there's still a lot of interest that, you know, where they're at now is in a way early kind of Pudgy days, and as long as everything's going as it seems, they should continue on that path. So they're interesting and well below where they've been in the past. A couple more quick ones here. Bored Apes, of course, we know, you know, $500,000, 140 ETH way back. So they're well under prices where they could be. I'm looking at 40 ETH is kind of the next major leg up. So
Let's go.
you know, they still got to kind of break this 20 ETH range, and then from there it's you're looking up to 40 ETH range. But you know, if they break this 20 and kind of get up, you know, mid 20s, then 40 ETH is kind of the next range for apes. You know, ape, they've already had the ape coin, etc. But you know, you can still kind of look at other side and what that can bring to them as in terms of a business, and even
Yeah, I tried other side
some
for
kinda-
the first time the other day. It was pretty sweet. I didn't download the client because I didn't have time. I was like rushing through it. But even then, it was super sweet. I was having this conversation with this guy for a bit. And yeah, it was pretty cool. The swamp was the only thing that was open. I think they're gonna have the dragon thing or whatever next time, which is more of a game. But the next thing that they are opening is Nexus, which is like the Coda land, which I do have a
Nice.
Coda. I do think that's where they're going to start to build the lore around there, around that, from what I'm hearing. So, yeah. Oh, also they came out with this feature called Bubbles, which is like Twitter Spaces, but in the metaverse. No, in the
that sounds
other,
really cool.
yeah, and it was cool. Like what's it called? Nick O'Neill and a few of the other people were holding one, and yeah, it was super sick. I think people are definitely going to go in, if it's not the other side, one of these things to hang out, kind of like how we are.
A little fireside chat, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, that's awesome. Keep going though. My bad.
Last one here. This chart is a little wild. Sappy seals, just kind of pricing in where they've seen their high at 1.69. They kind of correlate with pudgies. Anytime pudgies are in these kind of rallies, that's where they're at. I think they're interesting, but maybe up to a 1 ETH kind of range, or just below 1 ETH at the moment.
Chart wise,
kinda
all
where I
these
would
are
peg
so
them.
beautiful. Sorry to interrupt again. Chart wise, all these are so beautiful with all the consolidation, double bottoms, like across the board, just straight chart wise, not putting anything else into account. Like all of these are set up to have amazing impulsive runs. And I do think we're kind of saying with the Gary V thing, where like this is kind of the ashes, or the phoenix kind of rising out of the ashes, a lot of these projects. So really cool to see.
Yeah. Last bit for me, and then I'll let you kind of take over, Brent. Or I guess we can switch over to the pond. Is that just because NFTs are going up across the board, all the way around, still look for quality. Still
Absolutely.
find. Quality doesn't have to mean that it's quality to you, right? These are very much speculative assets, but you're holding a token, an image, a brand that you can kind of take to get value for yourself. But like if you're thinking of X small project from back in the day, and it's going to go back to prices it was in the past, and you're looking at these projects across the board, it's not going to happen for everything. Really look for the quality projects are the ones that are going to really move. And then other than that, you're looking for what kind of value it provides for you. So there. Quickly into the pond.
Absolutely.
Well, if you want to go back to ETH NFTs, portfolio construction wise, I mean, Sappy Seal seems like it's the best move. Azuki, I love Azuki, right? I want to get an Azuki, but spending 8 ETH, 9 ETH on one, like you probably need to have a significant amount of ETH bags to consider buying it at this price. No, unless you're just risking it all.
Counter argument to that is Pudgy Penguins, 9 ETH, 10 ETH. I mean, like you may as well be good looking at doodles, because like Pudgy Penguins at 9, 10 ETH, they're like, I mean, they're pretty like the thing is about these higher end collections is they can really move. Not saying like, I mean, try to.
But you knew like that's just backwards looking.
You didn't necessarily know. I mean, Pudgy's at 10 ETH were half from all time high. Like they didn't necessarily have the upside. And in terms of token wise, that's been rumored for a long time, right? And it's never happened. So, I would still be betting on quality projects, and I think Azuki is one of those. That's all, right? So like, even as much as they're 8, 9 ETH, they're the type of project that can really move. If you want to go lower risk, I would look at elementals and beans in that same side, and then you can spread across a few projects. But
Absolutely.
then that way you still get some exposure.
Absolutely. Great points from both of you. Thank you, Danksy, for bringing that up as well. Crypto NV asks anything at a reasonable price range. After this, in a quick second, I'm going to take over for about 5 minutes before we do the giveaway and kind of talk about some of the meme coin NFT stuff that's at a lower price range. But yeah, let's go ahead and pull up the pond real quickly as well.
But I do like Sappies. I think for sure, Danksy, a little big on Sappies there. Sound really good. there's a lot of opportunity for them in terms of just their correlation. And I think
Before we
that's
look at the
just
pond
it.
as well, we're just about to cross 800 viewers. Love to see that. Let's do a quick reset. Go ahead and share / retweet. Retweet, quote tweet, whatever the stream here. We're gonna do a giveaway here in a little bit. $500 between myself and I think for Loco, or at least whatever. We're gonna give away $500. And then so definitely reshare, comment on the stream, all that. We're gonna do that here in about probably 10-15 minutes. We're gonna stay on a little bit longer today because I do want to.
You gotta comment on the stream in the chat to be picked for the giveaway.
Yeah. We'll have you comment. Don't comment until I have you here in a second. I do want to be able to see people's comments for now about questions. Anything at a reasonable price range. Yeah, graphane. Every time I think it's gonna pull back. Let's go over the pond. 95 ETH or it's 95 Sol. What do you make of that, Rhodes?
I mean, our last few sales have been in this 100 Sol range. It feels like the 100 Sol is kind of where it was gravitating towards a floor. Again, it's so much based on FWOG being over 500 mil. I think that to me is such a good inflection point for the pond. There's a couple NFTs there, and then you're looking back at 200. It's a tricky balance. It's a small collection. There's not a lot of volume. I like to see, one or two sell, and then you can still get one in that same range, and then you're looking good. But like it's tricky. It's tricky. Like, can we get lower? Can we get that 75 Sol range? I still think even that's possible.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't had sales on the up versus all the sales that have gone down.
I'm gonna call the short-term bottom here on FWOG the meme coin. I don't know the NFTs because that obviously is much more of an illiquid market. But if you look at the chart, and Bren, I think you had put it up before, but the RSIs and everything fully reset. I think we double touched that. I think it was like 0.28 two times. Not that one.
FWOG. I agree, Danksy. For Loco, I do think we get like probably a bit of consolidation here for FWOG to kind of be the last like icing on the cake. But I agree, especially in the log chart. It's a beautiful correction. No consolidation up top. I think it's a no-brainer. And the fact that for Rhodes is saying, the inflection point for 500 million, I feel very, 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 very strongly that it's going to hit that billion again, at least $1 billion based on this correction. So for me,
from here.
So for me, I'm really just trying to grab one of these pond NFTs if it makes sense. The question I'm asking is the one that are less desirable. Let's say the floor goes up to, there's a couple of sales above 1,000. How easy, like the ones that are less desirable, is there going to be no demand, like not a lot of demand at all? Or is there just going to be, say one goes for 1,000, the one with the hood, the really clean one. Is it going to be easier to get rid of the one that's on the floor at 95? Would it just be like for a way less price, or like that's what I'm worried about? Like, is it worth it to wait for one that looks more desirable? I don't know. I'm just regurgitating.
Are you looking to collect them and trade them, or because maybe you buy one that you don't like because it's a good price, and then they wait for the one that you love, which I believe is one of those that are above 200, right?
So this is my thesis, really. For me, I like to buy one to get a nice flip out of it first and foremost. But I think my thesis, my gut feeling is this FWOG artist, the people behind it are really smart. I think they're going to offer some type of utility to them, whether it be in the form of like just more the 10K project or the other bigger NFT project that's been rumored to have. Maybe you get a bunch of free mints for that, bunch of different stuff that I think could come along with it other than just collecting. But yeah, for me, first and foremost, probably like I'd like to sell it for a way higher next year. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely consider that 95 Sol one. What is that even like the theme of that? Do you guys even know?
That looks like a
I
cyborg.
do not know. Yeah.
Cyborg. Okay.
I have no idea.
That looks kind of cool, kind of close up.
What is that? What is that he has on his head? What's that supposed to be?
I don't know, man. Maybe that's supposed to be like someone's specific.
I have no clue.
But yeah, the one with the hood looks really sick. I really like the one with the bulletproof vest, of course. The Charizard one's pretty sweet. The guy's name is Bren. that has that. So if I took it off, it'd be another Bren. But
Honestly, I think it doesn't matter which one you buy. It really depends on flog price.
yeah.
Of course.
So you think even like the what's it called, the Rizzler one will just be worth way higher if WoW goes to multiple billions.
Everything will be way higher if it's worth multiple billions. There's no though. It's just at that point, it's like, do we have enough whales to come in to buy?
Yeah,
But there's an arbitrage here. I think I agree with Bren. Like honestly, some of this, like if you combine like the negative sentiment or whatever, the fog the coin being down, and some of these not being like the best PFPs or whatever, even though they're all very cool, but obviously some of them are cooler than the other ones. Maybe there's an arbitrage play here where you actually buy here at almost like the pico bottom, or at least that's what it looks like, pico bottom of sentiment, one that is not really cool, that you can then trade for like 2x perhaps, right? Because I think they were trading at 200 and something at some point, and then you keep the one that you like almost for free. Like if you can buy some of them or both of them under 100, around 100, I think you have a very good trade.
I do
And
like that, man. Yeah, for sure. If you were able to get
yeah.
those bottom two, like for like whatever, close to a 200, that might be good. Big Chef says 95 sold. Jesus. Yeah, just big P Chef. Just to give some insight or context on this. This is, if you guys go look at the Pond or Fwog, I'm sorry, Twitter page, the artist is releasing this great art all the time. And what this NFT is a one of one project, only 100. He's still releasing or raffling off the last few, but only going to be 100 ever. All of them are unique. And obviously, if Fwog is important in an NFT bull market, as well as a crypto meme coin bull market, we can, stand to believe that these are probably going to be worth a lot next year, right? So that's, we just love them. They look really sick. We've been covering them on the show here for several months now, watching them. Rotes has kind of been spot on. I remember when that Mog one, which I love, is kind of my favorite. I'm kind of mad that guy bought it at 230, but we've been, Rotes has been saying, okay, like calm down, like they're probably going to come down under 100 eventually, and that's exactly what it's done. So super cool to watch the progress of this. Awesome art. I do think Fwog is just, it just appeals to everybody, right? It's like timeless, ageless, like whatever you want to call it. Normies are going to love it as well. So yeah, would be cool to get one of those pawn NFTs, but we'll definitely keep watching those. It is 11:37. I do want to go over just real quickly, like 5 minutes of like my views of kind of what I've been doing NFTs the last few days. Share screen. Let's do window, StreamYard. So for me, definitely been totally on board with everything Rhodes is saying. I do think the traditional 2021 projects are going to continue to have steam, especially the ones that have stuck around and really started building. It's really heavily concentrated in a few of the bigger names, and I think that's where it's going to remain as far as the PFP / older projects. I do think we are seeing some of like the newer mints start to pop up. People are starting to do flips on that. But I do think the vast majority of the newer mints in the volume are going to be in meme coin NFTs. So many people are sleeping on this narrative still. We're starting to see first in the excuse me, let me get some water. First in the AI meme coin NFTs, all of them are starting to make one. I think that's not a coincidence. The AI guys are freaking super big brains. Like they realize this, what I'm saying is that when you're combining these traditional meme coins running this huge meme coin bull market bubbling up with meme coins, which are the most relevant thing in crypto right now, combine those two things together, you're going to get explosive fucking gains. And that's why instead of buying like a bunch of Azukis or mutants or even an ape, I've been, I have a mutant, I have a Coda, different traditional projects I'm buying, other side land, but I've been focused heavily on two things, VFriends as well, but like on the meme coin NFTs, because I know the big gains are going to be in those projects. Again, somebody asked, who was it? Someone asked about smaller, if you don't have as much money to buy a $40,000 Azuki or $7,000 mutant or whatever it is, $15,000 mutant. Again, some of these meme coin NFTs are literally free right now. Apu, even this is kind of on the higher end. 0.11 ETH, big bundle. A lot of people got, sniped this, so the floor is still pretty thick. But as you can see here, I have like 15 of these. I do think these are going to go crazy to 1 ETH plus next year. Probably way higher. Again, same kind of thing with the pond. If a poo is a multiple $billion NFT, I'm sorry, meme coin, I do think these are going to go crazy. Really, the biggest ones are in the AI stuff, right? We went over earlier AI 16Z partners. We covered these in the stream last week at 2 ETH, 2 Sol down here. You see Tuesday right here, the very bottom. If you would have bought some, you're up 2x right now. I've been accumulating these heavy. I have probably 10 or 15 of these in another wallet. I do think these are going to continue to go crazy, but still are very undervalued here. I don't know how to really value these new AI meme coin NFTs, but I can imagine these are going to go to 20, some of them maybe even 50 Sol. As these things become more relevant and people catch on to this. Zero Born probably be even more undervalued here. I do think, again, 4 Sol as Zero Born, continues to run again. I think these are going to pick up steam. People are still sleeping on this narrative, but very, very shortly, I think everyone's going to wake up to this meme coin NFT narrative. And if you're able to snipe some of these while they're cheap, literally for pennies right now, like I'm talking about Yakub, still a $5 million meme coin, but I think this is a cult that's extremely undervalued. And the NFTs are literally pennies where they could be next year. Again, if Yakub, the coin continues to go up. Even Luces, which I'm not really a fan of the art, pretty basic, right? Which I think Danksy pointed out last week. But a lot of consolidation on this, still a strong community around it. I think like something like this, probably going to 5-10 Sol, if I had to guess. Just based on the fact that people, again, are going to be able to buy and hold like a way to flex their favorite community. Like it's just going to catch on like crazy. And then really quickly, I'm going to go through a few of these. Again, these are some of these you can pick up now, buy and hold over the next few months where you can make some crazy gains, leverage bets on the coin itself. And then really for me, I've been picking up a lot of these VFriends series too. As far as 2021 projects go, VFriends has been completely like slept on. Gary V hasn't come out and really said too much yet. You can speculate why, but I do think pretty soon we're going to hear something from him soon. Like Rotes said, he pretty much has called this entire NFT thing to a T. Said that in 2023, 2024, there's going to be a massive crash. Everybody's going to count them out. And then the projects that really rise out of the ashes are going to be the main IPs of like the new internet, right? Or like the new, Web3. I do think because of Gary V and all, you study all his past videos and all that, I do think he's going to, VFriends are going to be one of those top projects looking back in 5 years from now. And even in the short term, I think there's a lot of opportunities. So I have 50 on here. I think I've totaled like 75 now. I think eventually, I just have a really strong feeling that the next year or two, these are going to be back at an ETH again. I know this is a super high supply, but again, I just believe in Gary V as being even with Luca Nets and all that, still like just the most resources, the best, like in real life operator with the most connections, all that, to where I do think he's going to make something out of VFriends. And the fact that how slept on they are is insanely crazy. I'm going to go ahead and give away one of these VFriends, maybe 2 of these VFriends at the end of the stream here as well. Might as well. So yeah, I do think VFriends you can get for extremely cheap if you buy and hold those. Meme coin NFTs though, guys, I would not sleep on it. If you do have money to get a Sproto, this consolidation on here for the last almost a month here on Sprotos after a huge nice correction on the charts wise. If I were to put lines on here, nice corrective channel. I think these, again, probably unpopular take, these are going to be up there with apes, pudgies. I don't know about punks, but apes, pudgies, all the top traditional 2021 projects. These are going to be up there. Again, meme coins. When you combine NFTs with meme coins, which are the most relevant, the most relevant narrative in crypto, both of those going up at the same time. You got Sprotos, one of the most OG communities, only 3,333 of them versus the other ones have 10K, 20K. And then primary colors, all that. I do believe very, very, very strong conviction that these are going to be at like 50 ETH next year, or at least just up there with the other pudgies and all that. So sounds crazy right now, but yeah, I have 4 of these right now. If you're able to get one of these or Aeons, I'm telling you, these are going to be one of the best trades that you've ever made, singular trades in your life. So Sounds hype, but I do have a ton of conviction in that. But just to conclude, without going on too much with this, guys, I think you can get some of these meme coin NFTs for extremely cheap right now. I put out a post in the Telegram channel, Boss Man Calls, yesterday, going over my top 10 projects. But again, besides the Aeons and the Sprotos, which I just went over a second ago, Fartcoin came out with one, AI16Z Partners, Zero Bro, even something like Remilio Babies. They got cheated again after the Colt airdrop. Something like this, I think, is probably going to 5 ETH plus next year, just off of the strength of the Colts alone. So that's what I would do. Again, if you have a few, $100, few $1,000s, I think you can get some of these meme coin NFTs for very cheap and get some good gains here going into next year. Anything else on that, on NFTs in general, or the meme coin NFTs, guys?
I stole the stage. Looks like you need to get some offers out there on the pond. This one went 15 hours ago for 70 Sol.
Holy shit, that's on Tensor?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
nice.
it's a really nice one too. So that's happened twice now. So we've had this one. We had one for 100 a few weeks ago, and then we had this one now for 70. It went
for 70?
70.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think Tensor might be the market.
Right. So if you put some offers out there, I think it might be the move. These offers have kind of been up and down. Right now, the top offer is 65. You could probably do another one in there for the 70 range there, and look for someone to sell into a bid. That's where when you look at a floor on an NFT project, you can always shave down to the amount of like where the offers are. So even though the floor says 100, like to me 75 is kind of the natural floor where you're looking to get that value, even though 100's that round numbers. So 70, 75, that's where it would be nice to grab a couple. And then
seems like the floor is 65 though.
65 is a top offer. I'm just saying 70, 75 is kind of like
my mind's blown that Cowboy one went for 70. That's actually like one of the cleanest ones.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is really good. Nice colors, all that kind of stuff. Like this is a super
sell for a 30 sold
super nice NFT.
Should offer 100 on that. Be like, yo,
you could try.
I'd buy that.
I think you'd be better off just offering 66 on Tensor for everything.
Okay, top offer.
Yeah, dude. Like, why pay more when you pay less?
Yeah.
The two that have gone into bids so far are like two of the sweetest damn freaking ones. Like,
I think it's again because they're being raffled off to people who aren't necessarily just like huge.
Well, not all. Yeah, not all of them were raffled off, but they were given to whales, and even more. They just want liquid for whatever play they're making, right?
Yeah, you see a lot of them though, which I love to see. Is like it's given to people who have like 2,000 followers, 5,000 followers. They're not like crazy influential people with like followers wise, which I love to see, and that's probably why we're seeing some of these people who, are letting them go for a little cheaper. But I think that's great that people are coming up on like crazy come ups.
And for perspective, that on the high end, this one was 300 Sol, right? So these can really range. You can get high res on there too.
So Lazim is asking about Soul Rocks. I don't want to hoe you on that, Lazim. I'll open that real quick. Actually, you want to open up Soul Rocks for him? That one's beautiful though, dude. Holy shit, that blue one. I'm watching on the replay right now. So nice.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Rocks? What is that? Did that just come out? Why is there two? Oh, that's on Tensor. That's why.
Where's Soul Rocks?
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I was gonna say, is this like Ether Rocks?
Yeah, it's like a play on that for sure. Ether Rocks are
there's Soul Rocks
going crazy still, right? Yeah, I mean, chart wise, I don't even know.
ETH Rocks are they're so valuable in the sense that there's only a few of them, and way back one of the original NFTs, right? So Soul Rocks don't necessarily have any provenance that way, But like, I mean, to me, this is the ultimate of like an NFT meme, right?
Yeah.
Like crypto dick bucks, etc. The pure meme NFTs, they haven't seen the bite as much, right? So like if I go back to like crypto dick butts, that was kind of the best meme on NFTs for a period of time there. That one hasn't kind of rebounded. So that is different than a meme NFT. It is just a NFT that is, it's in and itself a meme, right? So there's certainly possible. I mean, these probably have seen their recent moves after some some ETH rocks have sold. But like, you have a higher supply, and that sort of thing. So, like anything, you can collect and speculate on them, but it's just particularly a meme. If meme NFTs move, like, crypto dick butts, goblins, although goblins is a little bit more beyond just the meme itself, then these could kind of move with. So we haven't seen that in the market yet.
So yeah, maybe treat it as a quick flip. I don't know how many you have. Maybe sell, if you have 2 or 3, sell a couple and hold and hope maybe this catches on and goes to multiple soul or whatever. Good question, Lazim. Chief Noodle says, I remember listening to Gary talk on a podcast right before the original VFriends and the NFT came out. Seems like ages ago. Yeah, bro, I remember. I've been a Gary fan for a while, but yeah, I remember back then I didn't have the liquidity to even to mint one or whatever, but I remember that hype and I was super stoked. I got some book games, which I might dive into soon as well, but yeah, book games were super cool. And yeah, I just believe, again, it's just an operator play. If you go study his videos, I think he has a more understanding of like NFTs in general as a technology more than like anybody. And as well as, you go look, they're still building VFriends in the IRL world with collectibles and whatnot and all these online shopping things. So I think we'll hear from him soon, and I think it's a no-brainer bet right now. So I'm going heavily in that ecosystem. But yeah, any thoughts on Moo coin and NFT? So can you type in Moo really quick on the top? I'm hearing that there's like Moo has an NFT project now. I don't know if that's even like official. Can you just type it in real quickly at the top, Rhodes? Moo, MUMU. Moo, is that it? Click on that. Okay.
I mean, it looks like it, yeah.
Just drop when it dropped?
No, this has been out for a minute, about 6 weeks.
Okay, I didn't know that they had an NFT.
0.36 Sol.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, just digging in.
Oh yeah, it looks okay. There's followers on that. It looks real. Charging secondary. Okay, so it looks official. What I would say, honestly, any of these strong projects, any of these strong communities, especially the ones that, again, they're at like 36.36 Sol. If Moo does move to $1 billion, that's probably going to rip multiples. Like, you might get a 10x off of that. Like, I think that's how slept on. That's just an example, right? I think that's how slept on these meme coin NFTs are, where you're going to get multiples just off the strength of how early you are to these ones that have any type of community. And I forgot to touch on earlier that very, very few of these projects even have NFTs right now. So that the few that are out, you can get some nice entries. But look out for all your favorite projects, pretty much most of them, to come out.
And you can find them on Magic Eden. Go to the chain. Then once you're in the chain, you can filter by category, and it's meme coin NFTs. Solana has them. Sorry,
wow.
Not Bitcoin.
Ethereum. Fart is all the way at 3 Sol. I remember looking at those at like 0.25 the other day and thinking, are they official? I wasn't sure. So that's crazy.
Yeah, just speculation too, right? They'll move on just the speculation on the name alone, right? But they're categorized in this group here as well, right? So I think just the fact that they're categorized in the group will make a difference too. So that's what I would look for. I don't know when they got categorized, but
you can tell in the info too if it's like connected to the actual one. I would always do real quick tips. Just always do the research on Twitter because you don't know if it is official. We are coming up like literally the end of the hour. We went an extra 30 minutes today. We're at 900 concurrent viewers. I love to see that, guys. This is awesome. I do want to do that giveaway. Appreciate you guys for staying on with us. Again, we do this show twice a week, 10 a.m. on Fridays like today, and then Tuesdays at 1 p.m. PST. Going into the new year, we're going to improve the quality of the streams with the face cams, quality equipment, all that, and just have some great guests on for you guys as well. So I appreciate you guys so much for coming on. It's awesome. We have almost 1,000 viewers on this. A few years ago, I could never imagine this. So this is I appreciate you guys coming on so much. I love doing this. I could literally sit on stream for 5 hours, talking to you guys, but obviously we can't do that. So I do want to get into the giveaway.
These
Wow,
are
that thing looks gnarly.
They're really good. Like, regardless if they were associated or not, just looking at them, this is an NFT cook right here. I mean,
I love that. I love that.
they're just something that they're very distinct.
They're all just made of fart fumes and shit too. That's awesome. Bro. I love that. Yeah, I have a few, but I wish I would have like swept 20 or something. I saw them at like under a soul, so crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that giveaway. Danksy, can you do me a favor, bro? Actually, let's do this. Go ahead and comment on the stream. Comment on the stream right now. Should they do it on the stream or under the post? Maybe under the post. No. Which one's easier, Danksy? If you're still with us.
The stream is easier.
Okay. If you can go to the comment section of this stream, like the chat, and type a message. Please don't spam, but just type a message. Anything, just say giveaway or whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and give away 100 USDC to 5 different people, as well as a V-Friend or 2 as well. V-Friend Series 2. I don't see any comments yet. I guess we're not giving away any money.
Yeah, I guess no money is being given away. I
No
gotta hop
money will be given away.
relatively soon as well.
Yeah, no worries. We'll be done in like 2 minutes.
We got some people coming in. Do you want to
wait.
pick or I'll pick?
I can't even
I'll
see.
pick 2.
I think it like erased some of the stream here. Why can't I see the chat? What's the most recent chat you see?
CJW, good stream. Big P Chef, good stream.
Here, I need to go on the computer. Hold on. Okay, good stream. Okay, I see that now. Okay. Let's let them go for like another 30 seconds or so. Again, we're giving away $500, 100 USDC. Just let it go for another few seconds, and then I'm gonna go give away V-Friends too. So let's pick out 7 people.
7 people.
Yeah, 100.
You want to pick out some or what?
I'll pick.
Just read them out and I'll find them.
Yeah, there's only like 7 people so far, so I want to give it like another 10 seconds or so. But fuck it. All right, so Big P Chef, 100 USDC to you. Congrats. AP Bike, 100 USDC. Ahmad, you've been on this whole stream, 100 USDC. Can you get all these ads?
Yeah, Big P, AP Mike. Where's AP Mike?
AP Mike is a
Yeah, I got him. And then who else?
Ahmad, Imaadh. What is the other one I said? Big P Chef.
Big P.
Big P.
Lazim.
Lazim.
I got Lazim. All right, 3 more.
3 more? I think that
3.
was. I already gave you. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, 3 more in total. Crypto Envy, and then the two V friends will be the Afro Kryptonian and Toga Steve. Congrats to all the winners. Pushing 937.
What's the last one? Toga Steve. Gotcha.
Toga Steve.
All right.
Congratulations to all the winners. All those giveaways will be paid out within the next 24 hours. So hold tight on that. Send Danksy your Okay.
I will DM you from the account. And I'll get
first 5 winners USDC Soul address, and then the other 2 your ETH address, so I can send you your V friend Series 2. Okay. So the last 2 Danksy are the V friends. So get a perfect. With that, I know we did run an extra. We usually do an hour 30. We did 2 hours today. I know all of us have to run. So I appreciate you guys all for coming on here. For real. Again, we'll be back on here on Tuesday, 1 p.m. PST. And with that, do you guys have anything else to add, or should we get going?
Thanks, everyone. This was fun.
I appreciate you guys. Huge stream today. Let's do another huge stream next week, Tuesday and Fridays.
Yes, sir. All right. Love you guys. See you guys soon.
Cheers.
Peace.